Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And the title to this video will be, Is This Really Happening? And the reason I say that is because in some way, shape, or form, all carriers that are competitively competing in the C-band auction are going to have to go to the debt market in some way, shape, or form, is what analysts are predicting. So the new estimates that are out now predict Verizon to spend $35 billion on the auction, and then closing costs and relocation costs to be a total of $41 billion. These are estimates, not actual numbers. They're estimating At&T to be totally between 20 to 23 billion, Tmobile to be between 12 to 17 billion, and Dish to be between 0 to 5 billion. I'm not really mentioning Comcast or Charter because I don't know how they're going to make use of that spectrum. Yes, they may have aspirations to compete in the wireless industry at some point, but for now, they have no infrastructure. They're very similar to Dish. Could they use it for private LTE? Sure, but is that really a cash grab versus the amount that they're getting ready to spend on C-band? So that's them entering the wireless industry is really very, very future talk. So, like I said, in some way, shape, or form, all carriers are going into the debt market for some of this money. AT&T is not positioned to go into debt any further. So the debt that they're getting into for the C-band is likely the $20 to $23 billion mark is likely the furthest that they can push it with the investors. Verizon was ready to go into debt. I'm sure the investors were aware. They were spectrum starved. They really needed the C-band spectrum. And then T-Mobile, it has been rumored, and Bloomberg came out with a source, that T-Mobile got a $10 billion cash infusion from Deutsche Telekom for this auction. So T-Mobile will likely have to pay that back with interest. So they didn't go to the debt market for it, but they're going to have to pay it back to its subsidiary in Deutsche Telekom. So it's interesting because this whole time Verizon was really pushing millimeter wave to the absolute max. They have it rolled out the most at scale versus anyone else. And now that all the carriers have shifted to investing a very large amount in this mid-band spectrum, could that potentially shift Verizon to change its strategy on millimeter wave versus the mid-band? And Light Reading thinks that could be the case. Mike Dano at Light Reading thinks that once that C-band is in Verizon's possession and they can start rolling it out, that the priority would shift from millimeter wave over to C-band. Now, millimeter wave will still be rolled out, but not nearly as much as what they're doing currently, because it was their only play in the book. They had no other spectrum. DSS is clearly not performing up to par versus what many were expecting. In fact, Sasha over at PC Magazine recently was quoted saying, "Turn it off. LTE is performing better." So this spectrum is going to allow AT&T and Verizon to go standalone, NR, completely standalone, move all that spectrum over to 5G, and create a better performance. Remember, they operate and own their own fiber. So once they fork out the expense to lay that fiber in the ground, they can turn the backhaul as high as they want. So we're starting to see Verizon push the backhaul 2, 3, 4 gigs. AT&T has theirs capped at 2 gigs. They really don't feel that any faster speeds are necessary at this point in time. So each of the carriers have been pushing somewhat of a strategy that they felt was a good one. Verizon decided, let's do millimeter wave. Let's get the hard work out the way first, so that way we can focus all on C-band. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to heavily focus on C-band. Like I said, there's There's a prediction that their capital investment increases for the wireless network. I do see that happening for sure, at least $2 billion. AT&T the same. I do see them increasing their capex as well. So it's going to be interesting. T-Mobile is well on their way to ramp up 2.5. That, like Neville said in the presentation yesterday, he has built a wireless network factory where he's been able to produce the radios and everything necessary, and now they're ready to execute at a pace through 21 that's going to be unprecedented. The 200 million pops that they claim nationwide by the end of next year, I can guarantee you guys they're going to hit that by midsummer. They just went from 35 million pops to 100 million in 1 quarter. There's no way it's going to take them 12 months to achieve 200. I think by the end of next year, they will be at somewhat between 230 to 250 million pops covered with its 2.5. That's a prediction of mine, and I'm sure they'll get there. They smashed, according to them, they smashed their goal of 100, and they got to 106. Remember, in 1 quarter. So they're going to do way more than that in the whole 4 quarters starting this year. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think this spectrum was really needed? And do you think it was as important for them to really go into debt? Or do you think they all just spent buku amounts of money just to catch up to T-Mobile and their spectrum position? So let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading them. If you have been on the channel or you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Also, follow the social media outlets for more updates, the Twitter and the Instagram, for more interaction, more pictures and updates. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.